I did my NYC with Access Bank at the time. And then after that, joined Niger Insurance as an insurance marketer. I joined Globalcoms as a customer care officer. And then things led to one thing. I found my way into KPMG Nigeria, and I was there for a while, and then find my way to the UK, and then to Jersey, and still with the private sector. And I then ended up with the public sector, where I then advise government ministers on, investment decision, basically using information from financial data and the like. So that's me from a career experience perspective. I am a husband, I'm a father to two amazing sons, and I'm a career coach myself. And then I mentor people around things, and also a teens pastor. So it's just a lot around personal development, youth development, and career management, and all the shades and all the in between. So that's me in a nutshell.
Well, you have quite an interesting profile. I think your career has really evolved, and that's impressive. Would you say you knew from day one that you wanted to do finance, or what drove the decision?
Yeah, so I think my own story is quite unique. Many people actually they just get into some profession that they didn't necessarily study. So I was in a conversation with family members. I was very young at the time, myself and my siblings. I think we were talking. So we started with, oh, what do you want to be? I was talking, oh, I want to be a medical doctor, aeronautic engineer. And then my elder sister said, what about a chartered accountant? And then I don't know what struck me. And then I left that conversation, went to another place, and then I was now processing a chartered accountant. What does that mean? So I was young. So at that point, it then was very heavy on me to say, yes, you're going to be a chartered accountant. And from that time onward, so I knew I was going to be, when I get to secondary school, I was going to be in commercial class. So in fact, when I was choosing to go to commercial class, my teachers were like, no, you should be in sciences, this, and that. But I asked them, does going to sciences make me a chartered accountant? I mean, they were like, okay, no, maybe at the time they might have said, actually, you can actually be anything you want to be, even if you go to any class. But then the understanding at the time was like, okay, you should be in commercial class because this is what you want to. So I had that clarity at the very beginning. And then I had some of my old boys in the secondary school then they came also to talk to us about this. I attended Igobi College, Lagos. So they introduced us to ICANN and the like. So I had the understanding just from secondary school. So I started writing my professional qualifications after my O level, started with accounting technician schemes. Yeah, so, but they went to university, studied accounting because I knew this is where I want to go. So I studied accounting. And then after university, I finished my professional exams just as a copper. And then that was when I knew that, yeah, it's just like I knew this is what I want to do. And then I followed the path just that way.
Well, that's quite that's quite straightforward. Unlike other people that probably just bumped into the profession along the way or switched careers. So you were intentional right from the start. That's a great story. That's nice. So there were questions I was going to ask, but I think you answered them already. So you mentioned something about your qualifications and professional exams. So are you a CCA or a CFA?
Yeah, so I'm ACA, ICANN. So I qualified as a chartered accountant with ICANN. And that is at the moment as we speak now, that is the only professional qualification affiliation I have, although working towards some others. But what has helped me to this point, I like to emphasize and stress that I have leveraged ICANN, okay, as a professional body throughout my career journey. And whatever happens subsequently is because I'm in the place, and I think I needed to do some other things, but I can qualified chartered accountant.
Okay. So from your answers, this question might not be, it might be something you have answered already, but I want to get it from you again. Do
Okay.
you love your profession?
Well, I mean, I love my profession, and I love it not necessarily because it's about numbers or I love numbers. I love it because of the value it had. Okay, provide seeking facts and providing insights and helping the capital market or the stock market to be deepen in their confidence of financial reporting and the likes, helping investors understand the value that their business is having, and also from an internal point of view, supporting management and providing insights, as a finance function, adding value to the business. So really not, I think at this stage for me, it's not about the numbers. It's about telling the stories behind the numbers and the value that that brings or adds to any organization. So I love what I do. Um,
So now that you've answered that, I'd like to know your understanding of love. What does love actually mean to you? When you say you love your profession and love what you do?
yeah.
In
Okay.
general.
Yeah. It's a very good question. But loving what you do, I think for me, looking at what I do, so it gives me the opportunity to bring my whole self to work. So as an accountant, someone that is interested in development, so someone that is interested in career coaching and mentoring. So I've been able to align my passion and my profession. So, and that is where the love of what I do comes in, because I'm able to bring my whole self to work. So the love does not come in itself because I love accounting. The love does not come in itself because, oh, it's about finance. It's because I'm able to bring my whole self. So accounting and finance, or the finance profession, give me that opportunity to bring my whole self to work. How do I mean? I'm passionate about people's development. So in my office, in my work, I'm a people manager, for instance, learning and development. And then I have the opportunity to have mentees and proteges that I help them grow and develop in their career. So it gives me that ability to be able to see myself impacting people. And that is where the love comes in. So it's about aligning that passion and profession, and not necessarily, because really we have to be honest with ourselves. People do things not necessarily because they love it. I mean, there is that aspect of you need to work, you need to survive, you need to add value. Okay, but for me, it's about being able to align passion and profession, and that is what really led to the why I said, yeah, I love what I do. So the underlying reasoning is because there is an alignment between passion and profession.
Great, great. I think that was quite explanatory, and I learned something from that, aligning your passion and your profession. So you
Yeah.
think do you think this is a great contributor to your career growth? The fact that the passion is there, you've always wanted to do it from the beginning. If you didn't love it, would the situation maybe have been different, or the input you put in be different?
Yeah, I think yes and no. And the reason I say it is because maybe let me go from no first. Whatever you do, you have to do it 100%. Okay, whatsoever is worth doing is worth doing well, regardless of whether there is passion or not. If you get to a position where you need to get something done, get it done. I mean, you have to get the best out of yourself in any situation and circumstance. So, work profession is not about love. It's about the things that you need to do. Okay, it's about delivering. It's about doing things. Now, the love part of it, for me, the mindset that you have to excel, okay, it will always trump. And I want to be very careful here. So, because again, you can love what you do, okay, but then you may not do it well, and then you won't go anywhere. So,
That's
because
true.
finance profession, accounting profession is such that it requires some things extra, discipline, research, understanding, is numbers, it's so there is that part of diligence that is required. But answering your question directly from my point of view, because I have that passion for it, and because I'm able to bring my whole self to work, and because I have the determination to excel to exceed in things that I do. So it has then helped the trajectory of my career. And now I then understood beyond the technicalities, the soft skills, the visibility, the executive presence, the people management, understanding and working meaningfully with sponsors. Okay, that really helped when it comes to career trajectory and growth. Okay, yes, I have passion, I'm driven, right? But then it's just like they'll say, talent is not enough. Okay, you need to align, all those things. So I have technical skills, but then I marry them with my soft skills, people management, leveraging and taking credit for my work. At times, if you might be very technical, very sound, making significant contributions to your organization, but you're not taking credit for it, it means that nobody's going to reward you, for those things. So I learned to take credit for my work, and I didn't always start to take credit for my work, but I got feedbacks and I realized, come on, you are really adding value, but you are not being bullish about, blowing your own trumpet. It's not pride, but when you make significant contributions, you need to take credit for it. And that is what brings about visibility in the workplace. That's what helps you. So when you talk about career growth and where I've been, yes, there is a passion for the profession, but there are also practical skills that help accelerate career, just going beyond passion. Passion will help you thus far, and then you need to understand people management. Accounting profession is very wide, very diverse. You meet a lot of smart and intelligent people. I tell people your skill set will be the same when you get to certain level. You all know the same thing. You all know the IFRS, you all know the numbers. They are there for everybody to see. Then what differentiates you? Okay, because I like to be very honest and very candid about this when it comes to the way I have grown. I am very technically sound, but then I know that can really help you to a certain point. Probably in Nigeria, if you are technically sound, yes, you can grow, but when you get to certain level, okay, when you're thinking of becoming middle management, you're getting to manager level and the likes, your technical skills and your people skills and those other soft skills are 50-50. Okay, so understanding those things help, the direction of your career. Yes, passion and love for what I do contribute significantly to it. But if I'm going to scale it, I'm going to say, in addition to that, those other underlying factors that may not be visible to the eye are also a contributing factor for growth and my own trajectory over the years.
That was quite detailed. So marrying your passion with your technical skills, passion will only take you so far.
You have to showcase it. And it's not pride. You have to take credit. For instance, if you are doing things that bring about visibility to the organization, there is no reason why you shouldn't take credit for that. And that is what I have learned over the years. You have significant value, but take credit for it. It's not pride. You work with people, for instance. As a people person, I don't take all the credit. I don't take all the accolades. But then I make sure that I position people to grow also. But in the process of doing it, I need to recognize the role I played to make sure that everybody is delivering on what they are supposed to deliver. It gives me joy when people grow. I then make sure I take credit when I enable people to grow, because I also want to grow also. So it's just balancing those things. You have the skills, you have the technical ability, but who is noticing it? If nobody is noticing it, then you've done nothing. We have a common word we say in audit. When I was an auditor, if it is not documented, it is not done. Okay, if you've not written it down that we did this, you've not done it. Okay, so if I'm reviewing the work of any of my protégé or people working with me, and they are telling me we did this, I'll say, show me. It's not in the work paper. So if it's not documented, it's not done. And that also applies to career growth. See, if you don't take credit for it, if it's not noticed, then you've not done it.
That's very insightful. So I have another question that kind of relates to this. So I know we've mentioned love and all that, but career-wise, your profession, what's the one thing that you love most about it? Is it the numbers? Is it the people management parts? Is it helping people to achieve their business goals?
Okay.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, I think all of those contribute to it. So let me pick it from the top. So during the pandemic, for instance, as as a government, you want to see, oh, what impact would this have on the economy? So under normal circumstances, what should be the level of economic growth? What should be the rate of unemployment? What should be the rate of output? Now, what do we need to do, for us to get to a point where, yes, we know there is an impact on the economy, but we want to stabilize it such that our recovery is going to be better. So now, what do we need to do? Okay, maybe we should give people money. Maybe we should induce some sector. Maybe we should do certain things that would then help people to put money in the circulation and then mitigate the impact of the recession so that we can recover properly. So doing things that you can see their immediate impact on the society, they give me joy. Now, the numbers must add up, the numbers must make sense, but it goes beyond the numbers. Okay, it's about what seeing it, or you are saying, oh, we want to build a school, or we want to build a hospital. So how do we get to a determination? We only have one piece of land. How do we get to a position where a school provides the best social return on investment, or compared to the school? Doing all those things is very, very interesting. So again, the numbers come with it, but those are the things that really, make those impact. As an auditor, yeah, I mean, I see my financial statement published in the newspaper, on the Nigerian Stock Exchange at times, on the London Stock Exchange. When you see those outputs, you see that investors are depending on those things. You are helping to strengthen, the stock market, the capital market, the funding round. So reporting accountants, those are value-adding things. Yes, the number must still add up, they must be correct. But for me, it's not necessarily about the numbers. In fact, you get to a certain stage in your profession, it's just the KPIs you are after. Okay, what are the things? The people that will do the numbers, they will do the numbers. And I tell accountant, yeah, you don't necessarily need to be a data scientist. Okay, if you are a finance, but you can go into it. But for instance, if you've done 5 years as an accountant and you've grown to certain level, and then you are saying, oh, because data science is in thing now, no, leave it to data scientists. You tell the story behind the numbers. Let them give you the numbers. Let them do all the data manipulation and the visualizations and the likes. Give it to you. You use it as a finance business partner to support the business, to make business decisions. And that is where the joy is. Leading and managing people. I see people starting their career as just early stage after university, from interviewing them to then growing to becoming managers. Like, it gives me joy that look at that. Look at that. I mean, you can see it. Like, I see people these days, even in the UK that I am, you see people that you literally interview and then they've really grown and they are now becoming people managers. So for me, those are the opportunities that this profession has afforded me. And that is why you can see the passion coming and like, yeah. So those are the things really.
That's great. I can see you really have passion for your profession. And
Yeah.
apart from that, they require technical skills and wealth of knowledge. That's really interesting. So another question would be, if you were to start again, what would you do differently? Or is there anything you would change or none at all?
Yeah, so if I'm to start again, I mean, the things I know now, I didn't just know them. I learned, I failed forward. I mean, there was a point in my profession where I wasn't taking credit for my work. I should have risen very faster than the rate I've risen if I had learned to take credit early enough. If I've understood visibility in the workplace early on. Okay, if I've understood at times you don't need to go all the way out and then just try to figure everything out all by yourself because you want to show that you are sound. I would have leveraged people more. I would have driven collaboration and inclusion more because people have a lot of skills. I'll let people play to their strength and then I play to my strength. So at times we cannot, there is nobody that would say they've not had days where they have to take a step back and look at how there will always be areas for improvement. I, as a person, I'm committed to continuous learning. I mean, I want to grow over the years, but if I'm to start again, it's all about doing it differently from the very beginning. Okay, and maybe I would have really played the card from my even very early career such a way that I'll be strategically positioning myself for certain things, because I didn't start out sitting down mapping out what my career is going to look like. I begin to realize, but if I'm and what I tell people that I mentor these days is to sit down. When last do you think about where your career wants to be? Maybe after university. Many of them, you are thinking of where I will work and like that. For most people, that is where it ends. Once they are involved, they don't even think about where it's going to be. So I think it's about having a career plan at the very beginning and working with mentors. Okay, working with mentors really help. I would have really looked for a mentor at the very beginning, because this is it. When you work with mentors and coaches, you see, it's like you're standing on their shoulder. And when you stand on somebody's shoulder, you are taller than them. It means you can see farther and further than them. So you would have really, give yourself a very head start, a jump start. If I know the things I know now, and I think it would have been a different story. Why? Yeah, I'm still happy that I'm happy with where I am, but I think it could have been better. I might have gotten there faster and easier if I had, maybe started working with mentors early on in my career.
That's great. So the last question, or should I say second to the last question, is kind of tied to this as well. You made mention of having mentors and you sort of advised the younger ones in your last answer. However, this question is similar to that answer, but I'd like you to be more specific. So for someone that is just starting out, let's say the younger you, still in secondary school, that just got information from your sister that, oh, there's a chartered accountant, and you're still researching that, okay, me too, I want to be a chartered accountant. What advice would you give to that person?
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, I think realities are different. For many secondary school people, they may not necessarily have that sense of direction at that stage. I think my case, yeah, I was in a conversation, then I went to a secondary school that the Old Boys Association understood the need to come back and develop other people. Okay, I mean, my Old Boys Association, we call it, they came, some old boys came and did seminar and talked to us about certain things, and they were eye-opening. So I think for people at that stage is look at your environment. We are in information age. It's not about the career you choose really at this age. We are in the content or information age. There's, in fact, where I am at the moment, people would rather be an influencer than being an accountant. Okay, talk to the people you describe at those age, sample their opinion. 8 out of 10 will tell you they want to be a TikTok star. Okay, so but you need to understand the environment. So if I'm talking to a Nigerian, for instance, your realities are different. You need to be focused.
Nigerians then.
Yes. So for young people in Nigeria, I think it's all about that deliberacy. You see, telling yourself my background will not put my back on the ground, okay? Because things may be very difficult. I may not have all the things that will support me, the support system that will help me to grow. It's about that passion. I need to make the best out of my life. So that is the attitude. So it's not about what you choose. It's about the attitude. I want to excel. Okay. What are the things that are there? Because it's not every course you do, for instance, in Nigeria, that will really help you worldwide, except you understand how to navigate your way. So it's that passion, commitment to continuous learning, and looking for somebody that you can give your ear time, because the people you listen to at times also matters. So surrounding yourself with people, if you cannot get it at home, maybe check your environment, check the church you attend, check the mosque you attend, there are some people that at least you can see that they've made some meaning in their life. Those are the people you should give ear time. Talk to them. These are the things I'm looking at. What are the advice you can give me? Some people have just gotten to university without already understanding the course they are going into, okay? And I mean, it doesn't matter. I have a lot of medical doctors that are accountants today, a lot of engineers that are accountants today, a lot of their account, and it's even really helped. Okay, for instance, most of my software engineer friends that have crossed into accounting, they build platforms today. They build platforms. They are into fintech. They are into why? Because they understand the finance side of things and they understand the technology side of things. So it's about the attitude. So it's not necessarily what happens after there is having that consistent desire to excel and succeed, looking for mentors, people around you that you think they can advise you properly. I mean, and submit yourself to tutelage. You see, a lot of people come to you, they just want you to do it for them. But when you coach people, it's about growing them, making them realize, making them make that decision themselves, or giving them the right to, if they've not seen it yet, keep pushing them to see. So submitting yourself to tutelage at that age means you are looking for somebody that can mentor you, somebody that can direct you, somebody that can say, oh, this decision I want to make, how should I go about it? So don't let the situation around you be discouraging. I got to a point in my life that I am going to make a difference. I just said to myself, I have to get the best out of life. That is all. So it then means that whatever I decide to do afterwards, I give my 100%.
That's great. I'm very sure that people who will view this, they would learn a lot from this your interview session, and they'll be able to pick out things that would help them to evolve in their careers and also make the right decisions about marrying their passion, the technical and soft skills. That's actually very, very important. Putting yourself out there is important. Taking credit for the work you do is important. I'm actually bullish about this, and I can't wait to write about this interview and put everything together. So I have specific questions that are role specific.
Okay.
About two. So in your role as an accountant and auditor or as a finance professional, what's your favorite accounting software and why?
Okay. So I think accounting software. So when I was I think I was doing some PP. I used to help people with installation of Sage Line 50 Financial Controller at a very, very early stage in my career. I think that was my initial interaction with software, probably around 2007 and the likes. It was still just evolving at the time. So as at the time I moved to the university, I mean, coming out of university, insurance marketing, I wasn't really interacting with softwares. Global.com, I was using customer relationship management tools. As an auditor with KPMG, I use audit tools. Okay, so I use audit tools. So I've not been within internal core finance. So, and I've spent significant part of my career as an auditor. So at the moment, I'm doing what I do now. I only use output. Okay, so I've not been involved in processing data. I've not been involved in processing, financial IUs. But then I might be involved in making decision about, okay, deciding which service provider. Okay, so we are doing IT transformation, for instance, finance transformation, for instance, which service provider is what we need to use, which one do we have alignment between organizational strategy, which ones best suits our platforms, what are the graphical user interchanges, how do we connect, is there? So I can be involved in those decisions, but using those, when I was supposed to use those things, I think I've spent those years as an external consultant. Okay, and so it's like I've now moved beyond that phase where you don't have to be involved in data processing and the likes, to now deciding to say, okay, yeah, which platform fits to her. So I think so I may not be able to really give you answer. So I don't have preference. I only talked about Sage because I used it at the time, okay, to help yeah, they are trying to automate their system at the time, and then from a consultant point of view, doing that. Other than that, my experience with using softwares, I would say they are limited, but then it's more about the decision of which ones to use, and asking the users, do user acceptance testing, user interfaces, just getting to know the feedback from people to now decide to say, yeah, this is it. So sorry about that. I cannot.
I totally understand. That's fine. So another question. Which one do you prefer, remote work or on-site work? And why?
Well, see, it's two ways. At my stage, I will do remote, I will do office. The reason is this. So when you make decision constantly, and then you need collaboration, you need that room for people's input, and you want to be there. Okay. It's two ways. It depends on the stage of your career. If you are just starting your career, you need to be in the office. See, there is no that it you if there you won't be visible except maybe in the IT industry where it is the norm. Okay, in fintechs for the most part, yeah, it's okay because even before COVID, people work remotely, right? But you need to understand the industry. So I'm delving into how it impacts career now. So if you're just starting, you need coaching and mentoring for you to understand. I can't imagine a new accountant working from home. You wouldn't understand the system. Excuse me, you wouldn't know how to go about certain things. I have learned some things today because I just sit in the office and I can hear conversations of my seniors and understood how they'll be able to deal with certain issues just by just listening, sitting there in the office. So you pick certain things, some body languages, some things that will help you understand people. Okay, so depending on the stage you are in your career, it's better. Let me give you a scenario. Organization will say, yes, you can work from home, work from anywhere, but you see the senior members of staff coming to the office, working from the office. So imagine who are the people they will see. They will see the people that are there. They will naturally call them for meetings. I mean, you may be at home. Yes, you are doing your job. They are also equally doing their job, but they are more visible. So again, it just depends on if your organization say 100% work from home, fine. But if you have to choose, you need to understand the balance between, okay, remote and the impact on my career. I think I've talked a lot about this, that I actually did something around understanding the impact of remote working on your career. Is very, very important. While it brings convenience, I mean, I'm doing this from home at the moment, and yeah, it works. But again, it has to be a balance. For me, if I'm to be selfish, I want to work from home. It means I don't have any junior running to me asking for questions, disturbing me, having to explain 5 times, 10 times, and the likes. But then if you are looking at succession, if you are looking at growing the business, you are looking for someone that you will transfer knowledge to. So you can see from organization point of view, learning and development point of view, I want my people in the office. But then I also need to recognize the times we are in. Okay, there is need for flexibility. There is need for remote working. So yeah, you can do 50-50, but nobody should be. If a smart young career professional will be flexible, will be open about where they want to work. Okay, just understand, be a role player. You see, that's one thing. Play by the rules. It's not just be a role player. What do I want to achieve here? Be deliberate. So if I'm working from home, I know my why. If I'm working from the office, I know my why. So each person needs to evaluate where they want to work. I won't say, yes, work from the office, I just need to understand my own circumstance. As a father to 2 young boys, I want to be around them. And every opportunity for me to work from home, I'll take it. Okay, so, and for some other people, it works for them depending on their industry. But my answer would be, it depends. Okay, it depends. And that is a very big answer when it comes to some decisions making. It depends on the circumstance. Okay, so understand your environment and see how it impacts on your own goal and your own career, and then make a determination if you rather work from home or from the office. But the default answer everybody will want to say is, oh, I want to work from home. If you don't have the infrastructure, the IT, the equipment, the internet, you will struggle. You can't imagine, like, being in meeting. Oh, excuse me, you are trying to make your own contribution, and then it's really being slow. Then you are not able to hit the nail, and then they have to continue without you, and then that happen consistently. It then means that they would nobody will really wait to say, let's wait for them to make their point. So, and that does not happen. It can have impact. So it depends. Just understand how it impacts you, and then make a determination that best suits you. Okay, but don't be selfish about it. As a young person that wants to grow. Don't be selfish about it's just all about me. It doesn't work that way. And it comes true. You see, people see it. They see it. If the attitude is all about me, it's all about me, it comes true. So understand the tone. Oh, what does working with you means? It is my responsibility as a junior to know how to work with my senior. It's not the other way around. Okay. I would need to understand how to work with my bosses. Okay, what is their work preference? How do they want me to give them updates? They just want just quick updates, email, bullet point, blah, blah, blah. Or they just want me to tell them, what is happening and the like. So you just need to find what works for you. And depending on the circumstances, you decide whether home or remote is the best or the office.
That's great. That's should I say very, very explanatory. I think having both experiences for someone who has worked in the office and worked remotely, because I currently work from home, I also understand that working in the office is part of career development. It's part of the experience. Apart from personal development, it also helps to bond better with the team. When you see them every day, you can communicate clearly. Unlike working from home where there are like barriers, sometimes you're trying to communicate something, the way it's interpreted is different because you can't see their body language. And also learning from your superiors and being visible, actually going to work can really help with that. So thank you very much. That was actually my last question for you. I don't know if you have any additions or anything. Okay, so I noticed something when you were talking, when you were making the comparison between remote work and working in the office. You mentioned that you have a piece on that. So we can link this to it if that's okay by you, or we can also publish it or share with our community if it's an article, video.
Well, it's a YouTube video, because I do content too. I create YouTube videos on career development and things and stuff like that. So I received lots of questions at the time around remote working and the like. So I actually laid it out. I spelled things out properly in that video, explaining how to check the impact of remote working on your career. And that's why I did the piece at the time, so I can share with you if you like. But it's open. I mean, it's free on demand on my YouTube page.
So I can just search for your name and I'll see the video.
Yeah, you just walk through the content I've made. You will see it there, and I can share the link also.
So that's actually interesting. Given the fact that you're full-time, you work full-time, you're also a dad. How do you still manage to create content?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think it's about being deliberate, and understanding your strengths, and balancing things. So for instance, as at work, I do what I need to do. I understand my deliverables. I understand what I need to deliver so that the wheel continues to run. Okay, I know what I expect from people to deliver. Okay, it then means that I will make sure everybody is pulling their weight. It means that I will make sure I don't have to do somebody else's job for them unnecessarily. Okay, it then means that there are boundaries. So that then frees up the space, to be able to then say, oh, I need to be with my sons. I need to do this. I need to do that. So it's about just a bit of planning. And it's not easy, okay? Creating content and the likes and wanting to do coaching and helping people, do interview mock interviews, prepare people, review CVs, and it's not easy, okay? But it's just that you have to be deliberate, but understand the key priorities, okay, at the time. Family is very important to me. It then means that anything that will take me away, I'll rather let it go, okay? So it's just giving that balance. If I need to create content, I won't pressure myself to say, okay, I have to do it consistently every day, every week. No, I take my step because, I'm not desperate about those things. It's just wanting to help people, and people find value in it. They interact with it. So I try to do something maybe before when I first started, maybe once a week. But later I decided to say, okay, yeah, maybe once every 2 weeks. And if work, it's when we talk about work-life balance, at times the balance will shift to family. At times the balance will shift to work. We need to recognize that at times work requires you spend significant time doing it. So you don't then go, oh, this work is tough. No. It's balance. At times it's shift, it's a pendulum. So just recognizing where you are in terms of life cycle and then relating with it. So that's how I do it. I don't pressure myself. I just try to do it. But I think over the years, I've seen that I actually do these things. So even when it appears as though, yeah, you are very busy, but I still do them. Okay, so I still do videos, I still upload, I still try to write LinkedIn posts, try to write on my Facebook page and the like. And we are in a digital economy, okay? It's very important. We can't stress that enough. Okay, content creation is really a big thing. And like I mentioned, people want to be influencers. Young people around me, you check them in their secondary school in this UK, what do you want to be? Influencer, this, that. Okay, fine. If that is where they get the information, then put it there so that at least, yeah. So, yeah, they learn from me. Yeah.
That's quite interesting. It must be, should I say, tasking to manage all of this, but it's great to know that you are able to balance the pendulum between work or mentoring and content creation. It's very impressive. So I've come to the end of my questions. I don't know if Tokwe has any addition. Have any additions from your hand? It's actually been great to have you. Off the top of my head, I thought this was going to be shorter than this, but it gave a lot of information. If I was to toe the line of accounting or finance, I would really find the information you've given helpful. However, I still find a lot of them helpful, even in my line. Remote work, on-site work, mentorship, and all the details you shared about putting yourself out there. It actually applies to everyone and not just the finance professional. So I hope that when we put this out, our audience and the people who get to see this are able to apply learnings to their professional growth. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time. This means a lot to me and the rest of the team.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and I mean, I do lots of career coaching and mentoring, not necessarily for finance professionals, but across board. I mean, principles of success are the same, okay, regardless of profession, okay. Mentoring is the same, okay, yeah, and a lot of people have reached out and I continue to help along the line. But again, some of those things, you just need people to be serious about it and they need to make commitment financially for them to get serious. And that's where you only get serious-minded people. And that's the only way you can get results with people that you mentor, that seriousness on their part. So